Hello, everybody. My name's Justin, Business Development Manager here at Fullerton Markets, bringing to you a class on how you can actually calculate your profits and losses. All right, some other things that we have in this class would be how to find the value of a pip and understanding the said value, as well as how much margin is required when we trade. All right, without further ado, let us begin. If you guys have ever traded Forex before, I'm sure you guys have wondered, how much does the Forex market pay you for one pip? All right, this is a very important question to ask because when we are trading numerous currency pairs, and it's very important for you and I to know how much each currency pair values one pip, okay? All right, so let us find the calculations, and I hope after this you guys have a better idea as to which currency pairs actually pay you more per pip. All right, so the pip value is dependent on the counter currency in a currency pair. All right, if you remember from our previous videos, we discussed that on the left of a currency pair we have the base, and on the right we have the quote or the counter currency. All right, in this example we have the euro dollar. On the left the base is the euro, and on the right the counter, which is the US dollar. All right, now in order to actually get the value of a pip, we need a few things. We need the counter currency, we need the contract size, and we need to know the pip in decimal form. All right, so let's use an example. Let's use the euro dollar. All right, so the contract size is 100,000, or roughly 1 lot. Now we multiply this by the pip in decimal, or in other words, where the decimal is in the currency pair or in the price of the currency. Here's a keynote. When you are looking for the decimal placement in a currency pair, as long as it is not traded against the Japanese yen, this is Forex, guys. If it is not traded against the Japanese yen, we are using 4 decimal placements. Okay, if we are trading against the Japanese yen, we are using 2 decimal places. All right, just keep that in mind. So here we have the euro dollar. Since we are going against the US dollar, we are using 4, so that's 100,000 multiplied by 0.0001, which would then give us a pip value of 10 US dollars. So every 1 pip movement is equivalent to 10 US dollars. Next, we have the USD CAD. Contract size, same at 100,000, and since it is not against the Japanese yen, 4 decimal places, the value is 10 Canadian dollars per pip per movement. All right, moving on, we have the USD versus the Japanese yen, same contract size of 100,000 multiplied by 0.01, 2 decimal places only, simply because we are trading against the Japanese yen. All right, now the value here is roughly 1,000 Japanese yen per pip movement. Okay, now it's not enough for us to just know how much it is in the quote currency. We still have to multiply this by the value of the currency so that we can actually get the US dollars. All right, so since the euro versus the USD is already denominated in USD, the value is just 10 US dollars per pip that we have made, or per pip that we have lost. But for the USD versus the Canadian dollar, we are making 10 Canadian dollars per pip. All right, so we have to divide this. We have to divide this by the value of the USD versus the Canadian dollar, which is roughly 1.32235. Doing so would give you a value of 7.56 US dollars per pip. All right, this is already in US dollars. Earlier it was in Canadian dollars, now it is in US dollars. Okay, so 1 pip movement on the USD versus Canadian dollar is $7.56, while 1 pip on the euro dollar will get you 10 US dollars. So that's a difference of 2.40 US dollars. So as you can see, each currency pair will give you a different value for your pip. Now let's do the same for the USD versus Japanese yen. So same thing, 1,000 Japanese yen per pip is divided by the value of the, or the current price of the dollar versus the yen, which is actually at 108.679. Dividing 1,000 Japanese yen by 108.679 would actually yield us 9.20 US dollars. All right. So for every 1 pip movement on the dollar yen, we are making 9.20 US dollars. So imagine if, let's say, the entire trade netted you around $1,000 on the euro dollar. The same, for example, if you took the same trade and the same take profit points, same take profit value, instead of getting 1,000 on the USD versus the Canadian dollar, we would actually be getting 756. Now, if you do the same for the dollar versus the Japanese yen, instead of $1,000, we are getting 920. All right, we put in the same effort. We put in the same effort for the trade, but they yielded us different value at the end. So as you can see, out of the three, the USD versus the Canadian dollar actually gives you less per pip. Now, when you have this sort of information on your hands, you might want to start choosing the currency pairs that you are trading. All right, you might not want to trade the USD versus the Canadian dollar or the USD versus the Japanese yen simply because they are giving you less. All right, just an example. So let's move on. Now, it's not enough for us to actually have the value for the pip or knowing how much each pip will give you. We actually have to put that into practice by trading. And when we trade, we need to know, we have to put in the pip value, and then we have to use this in order to determine how much we actually made in our trades. So here's a formula that I will be sharing with you guys. It is lot size multiplied by pip value multiplied by the number of pips made, and this will lead you profit. All right. So the lot size is how much of a currency pair that we want to trade. And then the pip value is the pip value of that currency pair. We multiply it by the number of pips we made, and that would tell you how much you have profited. All right. Now the inverse is also true. If we were to actually multiply it by the number of pips that we had lost, this would then tell us how much we had lost in this trade. All right, so lot size multiplied by pip value multiplied by the number of pips made or the pips lost will give you how much your profit or loss is for that trade. Now let me give you guys some examples. For example, here we enter a long position at 1.29900 and our long position was successful. We made money. All right, we exited at 1.31000. Now, since we entered a buy and we profited, we now have to take our exit point at 1.3100 and we have to deduct our entry price from this at 1.29900, which would then yield us 110 pips. Using the formula earlier, we will now compute how much is our actual profit. All right, so the lot size, roughly one lot multiplied by the pip value here on the GBP versus the US dollar, which is roughly 10, multiplied by the number of pips we made in this trade, which is 110, and the final answer is 1,100 US dollars. All right, so this is a successful trade. This is how you can actually calculate the profit. Now, for example, we did enter a long position, but the price did not move towards the upside, but it actually moved downwards. It means we have actually lost. All right. So since we entered a buy and the price went down, we lost. All right. So now we have to compute our losses. All right. So we have to take our entry point, 109.160, and deduct from this the lower price, which is the price that we exited at 108.660. This is 50 pips. Using the same formula from earlier, that's one lot multiplied by the pip value of 1,000. Why? Because we are now trading on the USD versus the Japanese yen. If you remember the earlier pip values, the Japanese yen is worth 1,000, all right, per pip movement. All right, now after getting these two, we multiply them by the number of pips that we actually lost, and we are left with 50,000 Japanese yen. All right, 50,000 Japanese yen. But guys, don't worry. The MT4 automatically converts this to US dollars. All right, automatically converts it to US dollars. So you don't have to worry. So far we have tackled two things. We tackled how to get the pip value and how much, and then after finding out the pip value, we now know how to calculate profit and loss using the same pip value. All right, let us move on. How much margin do you need to trade? All right, how much margin is needed to trade Forex? I'm sure for some of the people who have traded before, you might just be pumping money into your account, not really knowing how much this account can actually trade. All right, is $1,000 enough to trade one lot? Is $2,000 enough to trade 5 lots? These are questions that we might have in our head, and it's very important for us to have an idea of how much our margin can actually trade. All right, margin is the deposit needed to enter a trade and is dependent on a few things, namely the leverage, the base currency, and the account currency. Now you might be wondering, what is the account currency? Well, when you open an account, they will ask you what currency you want the account to be denominated in. Would you like it to be in US dollars, in euros, in British pound, in Singaporean dollars, in Hong Kong dollars, whatever you choose, that is the account currency. Most of the time people choose US dollar, okay? Now, how do we actually calculate margin? Simple, we take the lot size, which is multiplied by the base currency, divided by the account currency, all right? After which we multiply that by the contract size and the leverage used when we trade. This will then yield you the margin, all right? For example, we have the euro dollar, all right? We have one lot that we want to buy and a leverage of 1:100. So let's say the base currency is the euro, as you can see. We then have to divide this by the US dollar, which is already, since we're trading euro dollar, it's already denominated as 1.0846. We don't have to do a lot of division here, all right? So base currency divided by the account currency, since they are the same, we just have to copy it, all right? 1.0846. We multiply that by the lots that we are trading, which we then once again multiply by the contract size divided by the leverage of 1:100. All right, and the final answer is 1,084.6, meaning in order to buy one lot on the euro dollar, we need 1,084.6 US dollars. All right, so this is just the bare minimum needed for us to trade one lot. Some of you out there might have 1,100 in their account. Yes, you can open one lot, but this will eat up your entire margin. This is just the minimum amount needed in order to open one lot. You should always have more money in your account to facilitate any negative price movements that might actually close our trade. All right, let's try one more time. We have the USD versus the Japanese yen. Since the base currency is in the US dollar and the account currency is also in the US dollar, the value is simply 1. All right? Using the same formula, 1 multiplied by the amount of lots we are trading, multiplied by 100,000, the contract size, divided by the leverage, which is 200, and the final answer is 1,000. In order for you to trade 2 lots, on the dollar yen, you would need 1,000 US dollars. So guys, once again, this is just the bare minimum needed in order to open the trade. Do take note that you should have more money in your account to facilitate any negative price movements, all right? We don't want to enter a trade only to get stopped out immediately, all right? That's a waste of money. Do not do that. Make sure you have enough money in your account. If, for example, you want to trade one lot, I would suggest having an account that is 5 times the margin required. So if you need $1,000 and you want to trade one lot, I would suggest $5,000 and above. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. My name is Justin Bernabe, Business Development Manager here at Fullerton Markets. Thank you all, and I hope to see you in our next videos. Thank you and goodbye.